0-7 is the combined record of the Jays and the Maple Leafs since there were Go Leafs Go chants at the Rogers Center. I'm not saying I directly blame the idiots in the section beside us that started Go Leafs Go chants, but I'm also not saying it. Or I'm not saying it.
Do.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing us the loser energy across Toronto now as we sit here. Leafs are down 0-2 in the series. And the Jays, the team we're all here to talk about, got swept by the Boston fucking
forgot to bring in the broom.
Yeah, no, we don't do the broom for this.
We don't do broom for Jays games.
No.
Yeah,
we don't fucking celebrate.
No, you did. You did.
Well, yeah.
It was
yeah. For my team, we
do Jays sweeps.
Celebrate our own sweeps. I will bring the broom for all the Blue Jays sweeps. Not against though.
Especially when it's the Red Sox.
First and foremost, I think we maybe talked a little bit too much shit about the Red Sox from last year to this year.
Who's we?
As a fan base, not
who's
us.
we?
Not us.
Not us. Who's we?
Sorry, I probably should have made that a little clearer.
Somebody predicted them making the playoffs, I think.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So
in fairness, 2/3 of this podcast did not, but a lot of the fan base talked a lot of shit about the Boston Red Sox. And they shoved that right up everyone's hoop for 4 straight games. I don't really know where to start. I don't want to break these games down. I don't really want to talk about a lot of it. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you do, but personally, I'm not interested in doing it.
What was good?
I missed the last 2, but the first 2, and from what I've heard on the last 2, I don't think we really deserve to win any of the games.
No, you're right.
I think that's a pretty accurate statement.
Yeah, that's you're right. You're absolutely right. I was just trying to do the numbers. I think they almost scored as many runs in this series than they did all of last year. If I'm not mistaken. What do we got?
Was it 70?
Oh, maybe not. They played a lot of games last year.
Yeah, it was 19 games.
They had 55 runs last year.
They already have as many wins. They have more wins this year than they did against us the entirety of last year.
Yeah. How many runs did they score in this series?
I can do the quick.
Today was 11. We are a math podcast, so these are 100% accurate numbers.
32.
11, 32?
32.
They are 13 runs shy of matching their entire total of last year against us. They had 650 at-bats last year. I don't have the numbers in front of me. A lot of games. I don't have a games number. Not good. I don't know what to tell you. We could start with Anthony Bass, but I don't think we need to because we talked about him enough, and we all understand that he has no spot on this team anymore. We can talk about the start. You guys want to talk about the starting pitchers, maybe? That's kind of. Are we concerned about the starting pitchers after this game or after this series? Sorry.
I don't think you need to be concerned after one series. Okay. That's jumping to conclusions a bit, in my opinion.
Sure.
But it's not what you want to see. I don't mind Boston's lineup, but that isn't a lineup, in my opinion, that should really scare you. And
they shouldn't score 8 off of Kevin Gausman.
Yeah, again, I missed tonight's game, so I missed all of that. But
8 on Kevin's head.
Masataka Yoshida cooked us for 4 games.
He was like 7 for 14.
Yeah, he was legit. I think he had 2 or 3 home runs in the series.
He's looking like a rookie of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I would have picked him if I would have really put that together when we picked the picks because he's looking great.
Yeah.
Kikuchi had a tough start to start this whole thing. Or no, Barrios started the whole thing. Barrios started the whole thing off. We were recording as he was falling apart, and then he kind of found it for a little bit, and then he lost it again.
Like 2 home runs and 3 batters, and it was just like, 5 runs.
Yeah. And then a lot of people kind of got on Schneider a bit for bullpen usage again, but in the grand scheme of things, everybody got lit up, other than Nate Pearson, who we'll talk about later. I do want to talk about Nate because he's the one bright shining star of this group. Barrios didn't look great. Kikuchi, looked a lot more like last year's Kikuchi than he did this year's Kikuchi.
Mhm.
In fairness to both of those two, and maybe Manoa a little bit, and I guess Gosman too. The weather the last 4 days has been terrible in Boston. So I'm not making excuses. They were bad,
I don't think it goes for both teams though, so I don't think you can really.
but both
use
teams
that.
gave up a shit ton of runs. We just kind of gave up.
We gave up a
more.
lot more.
We gave up a lot more. I know specifically in Kikuchi's case, like it was raining for like his entire time out there.
Mhm.
And everything I've heard from like people down there said like, yeah, the weather is terrible.
Mhm.
So fine. Maybe we'll use that. We're also talking about a rotation that like set franchise records the last time through.
Last 8 pit trips
Yeah.
to the mound.
Yeah, so we were due for a little bit of a regression. I was hoping it wouldn't come against Boston. Alek Manoah is a topic of conversation that's been going around a little bit because obviously he had another tough one. His command's still not great. And it reminds some people, I wouldn't say myself, of previous years where we had Hyunjin Ryu nearly win a Cy Young, come out the next year and stink. Jose Barrios come in for us. I think he had like a 1 dot in his time here as a Blue Jay and then completely stink last year. And then Manoah, Cy Young finalist last year, is off to a atrocious start.
Mhm.
Is a nice way to put it. I'm not falling off of him. I know for the entire time this season that we've done this podcast, I've been in like kind of a negative on Manoah for the most part. I think Manoah was fine in that game. He gave up 5, obviously. Only 2 earned. The rest of them, the defense forgot to show up. And the inning that he gave up most of his runs started where he got hit just below the knee, I believe it was. And Alejandro Kirk tries to do too much and launches the ball into right field. Puts Devers on second. Devers goes to third on a wild pitch or a pass ball, whatever it was.
Mhm.
And that sets up Duran for a double, and then they tried to pick him off because now he's on second with no one else, and it all unraveled from there, and it all started with an ugly play from Alejandro Kirk. I'm not as against Alek Manoah right now as I was 3 series ago. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think it's necessarily against Manoah. I think it's just an interesting point to look at the fact that Ryu fell off. Barrios was very bad last year, like especially for Barrios standards, and Manoah's been very below average this year. Whether
Sure.
that is something to do with the pitch clock, I think that's got to be a story because if you get Hyunjin Ryu being Hyunjin Ryu in 2021, that Jays team is probably a playoff team.
Yeah.
If you get Jose Barrios being Jose Barrios last year, that makes 2022 a hell of a lot better team. It maybe changes nothing. I think it's just interesting.
I think
it's weird.
You could
I think
argue
if
that
Jose-
we compete for the
if-
division.
if Jose Barrios is Jose Barrios, I think they win the division.
Probably.
Like
He won a fair amount of games, so I don't know if it really changes all that much.
but
maybe,
it was the games
maybe
that
not.
he lost.
He
like
threw
7,
away games when he was
like
back.
at
It
least
was
7.
it was the bull. It was our bats winning those games and the bullpen holding
Yeah.
us in it, which I think led to overuse in the bullpen.
Okay.
I just
My
one last
thing. No,
I have one
go for it.
question on this before we go.
I wasn't
Anywhere
moving
else?
anywhere.
Okay. We give Pete Walker a lot of credit, and I
Mhm.
think Pete Walker is very due for all this credit that he's gotten. He's done wonders with numerous pitchers. Do you guys have any thought that this might be a Pete Walker thing? I'm not saying I do. I'm just curious to hear your guys' thoughts because I'm kind of up in the air on it right now. I don't know what to think on it.
Connor seems to
am-
have more of an opinion than me. So
I'm so far on the fuck Pete Walker scale. It's not
Really?
even funny. Like, because think about it.
yeah,
The last like 3 or 4 big pitchers we brought in
Mhm.
had one great year with us,
and then fell off.
fell off a cliff.
Right.
'Cause Pete says too much shit because Ryu.
Mm.
We really don't know what it was with Robbie Ray and Matt, but they both had great years here. They left.
Right.
Jose
Robbie also had a
Barrios-
bad year coming in, and then I think Pete fixed him. I would say
Yeah,
Pete
it's-
helped
yes.
Mats.
I agree on both of those.
and then
I-
Jose Barrios. I genuinely don't
Barrios,
think
I'm not sure what he's done. It's a weird one. I could
He,
Yeah.
maybe throw some blame at Pete for that one.
some days he's done too much. Some days he's not done enough. And
Yeah,
it's just like
I think they try too much with Barrios. We've talked about it
oh,
before.
dude, he's like
It's weird.
They've moved him. They've moved Barrios on the rubber like 8 times. They've
Yeah.
made him like hold his hands to his chest, his belt,
it's nuts.
over his
They
head.
stopped doing the over the head thing for a bit. I don't know. Ryu, I don't love blaming Pete for Ryu because Ryu's not the youngest pitcher on the staff, and like
I don't think he was entirely healthy either.
No.
I saw this point brought up on Twitter, and I just thought it was an interesting conversation.
but like outside of that, I mean, you got to count the bullpen in there too. And I never really thought of it until this year when someone brought it up. But like, when has he ever had a bullpen arm that he's fixed into something good?
Romano,
Can we
maybe
say
a little
Jordan
bit
is a fit?
because
I could say Jordan.
but I don't know if you can entirely give that to him because he was a starter, and when he became solely a reliever, his stuff ticked up a ton, so that helps. And I think I might be wrong, but I think he eliminated pitches and just went
Maybe.
primarily fastball slider. So
slider.
I think that helps.
I think he had a 5-pitch repertoire as a starter or something stupid. But
The fact
he
that
also
go ahead.
he also
Sorry.
came in. No worries. He came in and dominated from about the second he got here in 2020. So I don't know if I give Pete a lot of the credit for Jordan Romano. I think he probably helps him a little bit. And Jordan hasn't fallen off a cliff for the most part. We can get to Jordan later. But I think Simber fell off. Simber's old.
Why was the first person I was gonna say was 2020 Rafael Dolis, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But,
But
like,
like
Dolis
again,
but
Dolis
then,
fell off.
But then a year of Dolis, he fell off a cliff. Like,
I don't know if Simber's fallen off. I think this is just kind of
Maybe
what
not.
you get from him.
Sure.
I don't.
You
he's-
figure him out.
He's usually a guy who's going to give you lots of innings. He's going to give up lots of contact.
Mhm.
Generally, it's going to be soft contact, but there's going to be hard contact in there. And I think he's a guy that by the end of the year, he's going to have
His numbers.
an
will-
ERA in the high 2s or low 3s. Hopefully, he's going to log a ton of innings, and he's going to be a reliable mid reliever for you. I think it was a tough stretch to start the year,
Okay.
personally.
I could see it. Maybe I give him credit for Trevor Richards right now because Trevor Richards doesn't look atrocious. Zach Pop has kind of lost it. I'm trying to think of like previous years relievers too.
Pete, you guys know how long Pete Walker's been here?
He's been here since the Gibbons days.
2012.
Hmm.
So
He's been here as long as the Blue Jersey.
He was here with Farrell.
He was here with Farrell. Yeah, he was there with Farrell. Like,
Jesus Christ.
can we? I guess if we can go all the way back, then can we say Roberto Osuna? Like,
Well, I mean, he turned
didn't fall
Roberto
off a
Osuna into
cliff.
one of the he turned him into one of the most elite closers ever. He
Yeah.
didn't tell him to beat women. That wasn't on
Yeah.
Pete Walker.
Well, if you're going back that far, though, another one you can mention in the opposite direction is Ricky Romero.
oh,
He was
man.
an ace for it was
Sure.
either a season and a half, and then fell off a cliff. I think it's just an interesting talking point whether it's too much tinkering, trying to get things more out of guys, and maybe you just leave it.
It's too
I don't
much
know.
tinkering, and maybe they need a different voice.
Maybe I'm just generally as a whole, I don't think the pitching staff has been as it's never been worse than what it should be. Like in years past, our bullpen hasn't been good, but like the names we've had in the bullpen weren't good. Like we were relying on Tyler Chatwood to be our setup man at one point. Like you can't expect him to take that and turn it into a magical bullpen that just figures it all out.
Oh yeah, it's weird to remember. Jordan Romano was not the closer in 2021.
No, who started as the closer?
Merriweather.
Oh my god.
Merriweather had the first like 3 saves, and then he got hurt, and we
Yeah.
never saw him again. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and like you go back to those 2015-16 years, and we had like
Brett
Grilly.
Cecil,
really,
Grilly.
If
Brett
I'm
Cecil.
correct, was making a point. Grilly, Latroy Hawkins, and I want to say there was another guy who are all like was Axford there then, or he might have been a bit before, but like all guys on the back end of their career too. Like we haven't had a bullpen that I've like loved in
No.
a while.
Not one that you can see long term either. is
And
kind
the
of
one
other thing.
semi-young bullpen piece we had, we traded for Jesse Chavez.
Yeah,
Fucking
we don't
the
need.
Avengers.
We don't need to talk about that. That's
No,
rough.
we
That's not
traded him.
Pete's fault.
We got rid of him twice.
That's not Pete's fault. All right, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know where I sit on whether or not I can blame Pete Walker right now because he has a good chunk of Marco Estrada. Great success story for Pete Walker. I think what he turned Marco Estrada
Happ.
into was special. Jay Happ was
Yeah.
another one.
No, he's got a ton of success stories.
He has a
Like,
ton
Brett
of
Cecil's
successes.
another one that he turned into a fairly elite
Yeah.
reliever before he left.
I just feel like a
you
lot
could
of the
you could make the point of Aaron Sanchez as well during those days. The year
Mhm.
he,
Yeah.
I think it was 15.
But
he
then
was
you
the
could
10th.
also put Aaron Sanchez on the other side.
yeah.
So it's
We had.
I
we had
don't
one-
know.
We had one good year of Sanchez in the bullpen, one good year of him as a starter, and he fell off the cliff.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't love throwing blame at Pete Walker because at some
No,
point you got to
he-
execute.
Yeah, Pete can't get
And-
full blame, but
No, and I think
he's-
what he's done with Kikuchi has looked great, other than 2 starts, and one was it is what it is. And
What
I
he's
think
done with Barrios for half of his games looks amazing. And
Yeah.
then the other half it
does not.
No.
So would
Um,
you say that this bullpen as a whole is just 2022 Jose Barrios?
I
When they're
think
going, they're going. If they're not, oh
No.
boy.
I think when you're using
No.
them in the right spots, they've all been great.
yeah, okay, fair.
I think the point they brought up, I've heard brought up a bunch of times by Jay's guys is, I think it was Barker's brought it up a bunch specifically, is you need no brainers. Right now, you've got Romano in your 9th,
Mhm.
and it was supposed to be probably Jimmy in the 8th. Jimmy's not a no brainer right now at
I
all.
think
Looking
better.
the no brainer is moved up to. I think the no brainer is now Swanson in the 8th.
I would think.
I
He's
think
looked
Jimmy-
good, but
I think Jimmy in the 7th. I
you
feel
look
like-
at some of the other teams, maybe I think this in a month we aren't talking about this because I think Nate Pearson slides into one of those innings, and I don't know when Chad Green comes back, but
He's a high leverage guy
He's a
too.
dude.
He's done high leverage.
I think that's fine. It's going to be fine. But right now they don't have. Like we saw at the game Brant and I were at on Sunday.
Mhm.
Like they'd used Swanson and Romano, and I think Jimmy'd been used a decent bit in that series. And guys are tired, and guys need days off, and then the other guys
When
don't
your
have-
horses are not running at their full strength, you're in trouble.
Mhm.
With this
Yeah.
bullpen a little bit,
And I can't
because
believe- yeah.
it's very clear now. I don't know what happened to him today. Apparently he got hurt, but Zach Pop is not a high leverage guy. Trevor Richards is not a high leverage guy.
Anthony Bass.
Tim Meza scares me sometimes, but sometimes he gets it done.
Anthony Bass can.
Anthony Bass is
Go
no
pick up
longer
popcorn.
an option.
You can go pick up popcorn for all I
And,
care.
and I
like,
think that one is the one that kills your bullpen the most because Anthony Bass coming into the season was probably pegged as your 8th, maybe 7th inning guy.
he would split the 7th.
I think
and
he
8th.
was.
He would split the 7th or
was-
8th, depending. Like,
Mm.
with Jimmy
I'd say he was
Swanson.
below the. I think he was like 4th on your depth chart, below the other 3 guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but was still a guy.
But I think
Like, he was right
I
there.
would have put him coming into the season. I would have put him with Jimmy in that spot. Is one of
Yeah, I
those
would've
2
put
guys is going to
him-
be other than Swanson.
Yeah,
yeah,
But not
Yeah.
having that and having
was-
him
he was in
not
that.
even relevant. Like he can't. I don't trust him to go in a cleanup situation.
And I
because
think
he's just going to make it
that's-
worse.
and I think that's
No
where
pun
Chad
intended.
Green slides in now when he comes.
Sure,
back.
but we don't have Chad
Yeah.
Green until
I know.
July.
So I'm
He's not
saying
here.
when he gets here,
It's kind of the
But
issue.
That's
So
Nate right now.
Yeah.
Like Nate needs to be the 7th, 8th inning guy.
yeah,
yeah. I think the other thing is Pop looked like he could have slid into that role
And he didn't.
earlier in the year, and he's. I would probably put money on the fact that when Simber comes back, Pop goes down to AAA, if not sooner.
I think
and
Pop
I would-
might.
I
be
would have
hurt.
said the exact opposite. Yeah, you think so?
Well, so I didn't see it, but I've seen it a lot on Twitter and stuff. Apparently, Pop left the game today.
I can't.
Did you
lie, I
watch
didn't
it?
the game? But
No,
I
I
did
missed
see
it.
I
Keegan.
didn't
I
watch
did
the
see
game.
Keegan Matheson bring up like the Jays don't like. He brought up a couple tweets like the Jays don't have a long man, but Tim Hatch, Thomas Hatch, and Casey Lawrence were there, but they're in AAA not doing well. But then he also brought up everyone's favorite person to never want to be on this roster, Trent Thornton. Like, and Jay Jackson. Like,
No, Trent Thornton's coming. Let's see if I
bro,
can
Trent
find anything on pop.
Trent Thornton's not even like.
Trent Thornton's coming, dude.
I forgot to
I
say
don't
Mitch
think
White.
he's even looked good.
I
Oh.
think Mitch White. Mitch White is your long man. Like
Sure.
games like today is
We're
where
relying
Mitch White,
on Mitch White. Okay, but I don't think the long man is our problem right
No,
now.
no. I'm just saying, like, there's certain situations, like today,
Hmm.
when the game is a fucking write off. Like, this is where Mitch White can save you 3 innings, like, of
Yeah.
just slop.
Zach Pop, this is an hour ago. Keegan Matheson tweeted out Zach Pop is now being helped off the field with his arm around the trainer after suffering a right leg injury. Zach Pop has quote unquote right hamstring discomfort. The Blue Jays will evaluate him further, but that's clearly headed towards an IL stint. So we can stop putting Pop into anything that matters here.
Well,
I think
Jackson, you are a Toronto Blue Jay.
I think there's a situation
He's
where
looked
this
bad,
bullpen
apparently.
can work. Fuck. It's Mitch White. Mitch White's going to come up for Pop. I would assume he's good to go.
He's only had 2 rehab starts.
Yeah, but he's been on
I
that
think.
whole minor league stint coming up too. Like,
Yeah, and they're also, but I think
Yeah, but he's
they're,
only
he's
had
fine.
2
they're building
starts.
him as a
I
starter
don't
and
know.
not like a.
well, yeah, it's a lot easier to come up and be a reliever after being built up as a starter.
Yeah.
But I think this bullpen can absolutely work in the current state that it's in if you use them correctly.
Yeah, I don't
we've
think
seen
you
it.
need guys. I don't think you need additions down the line. I think
No.
the pieces are there.
You
I
just
think
got to
it's
figure
just-
out how it
guys
works.
got to figure it out. Like
Mhm.
Jimmy, we need more out of Jimmy. Swanson has looked great. Romano has been fine. I'm gonna
A
give him
god
fine
in
right
save
now 'cause I'm not-
situations.
Yeah. Well, I'd prefer him to be able to pitch in more than just save situations. But
Like, can we
Nate
talk
has
about it for a
looked
second?
great. Nate has looked great
Yeah,
since he
yeah,
came up.
Nate's-
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about Jordan?
Yeah, go ahead, Brant.
So Jordan obviously gave up the tank to
Verdugo.
Alex Verdugo, thank you,
No,
in game 1 in a tie ball game. And
he backpedaled into that walk off.
oh, dude. Either way.
Let's get to that after.
Yeah. Jordan in his time here, I thought this was just like a gut feeling myself that he just every time there's a non-save situation, Jordan just kind of forgets how to pitch or something, or he just doesn't care and he throws it a little less sharp. We'll go with. So I looked it up and I tweeted this out. So Jordan Romano in save situations, we'll start with that because his save situation numbers are disgusting.
Since when?
His career. This is it.
Okay.
His whole career. He's had 70 games, 73 and a third innings pitched, a 0.49 ERA, 0.72 whip. He's given up 2 homers. In non-save situations, it's 101 games. He's had 96 innings pitched, a 4.31 ERA, a 138 whip, and 16 home runs. It is 2 completely different pitchers. Jordan Romano, the closer, and Jordan Romano, the reliever. I don't know what you do with that other than just stop using them in non-save situations.
I have a take that
Okay.
you guys probably aren't going to love and doesn't really correlate with these numbers, but I think in your ideal bullpen, Jordan Romano's your 8th inning guy, and you've got someone else closing. I think there's
Well, if I
better
didn't just read you
options,
those
and-
numbers, I would say sure.
No, I agree.
Oh wait, what you just read was the career of Craig Kimbrell as your Chicago White Sox.
I know. Yeah.
It's Craig Kimbrell with the White Sox for those 3 months had a 0 ERA in the 9th and an 8 ERA in the 8th.
Yeah, closers are a weird breed. Obviously Jordan's a weird breed.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say after that, but it's crazy to me that John Schneider doesn't see this and be like, maybe tie game bottom 9, we don't go with Jordan. Because I think this is the second time he's done that this year. The other one was the Yankees, right? But that was 10.
It's tough because he's supposed to be your best reliever, and you
Yeah.
want your best reliever pitching in those scenarios.
Yeah, and I had some guy argue.
You don't want to be Buck
Buck
Showalter in 2016
You
or whatever
probably
year it
won't.
was, leaving Zach Britton. in the
Sure,
bullpen,
sure.
not using him.
But I had this discussion with someone on Twitter too, and he said the same thing. You're gonna use your best arms in those situations because it gives you the best chance to succeed. But I would argue that putting Jordan in a non-save situation is not your best arm to use. It's statistically over the course
Does
of his
not seem
career
like it.
is not your best arm in non-save situations. So I don't love that. I mean, Jordan's a great closer. I love having him, but I don't love that when the lights aren't the brightest, he just doesn't really have it. But I don't know how you fix that. That's more of a mental thing. We talked about Verdugo. I don't have much to say about Verdugo if you guys have anything else.
I mean, it doesn't really, I can't really
I think it's just soft as shit. If you're gonna make a comment like that before the season,
stand on it.
fucking have the backbone to stand on it.
Sure.
And
At least when we say dumb fucking quotes, we stand on our quotes. Like,
well, then somebody had it. I don't know who he hit
Unless
the
you're
bomb
Anthony
off of,
Bass.
but it was against the Jays. I think it was last year against the Jays, and it was like the 8th or 15th slowest home run trot
oh yeah,
in the majors that he,
Well,
that he
even-
took.
was
and
that
it
the
was
one
the
at Rogers
slowest.
Center?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I forget
Yeah,
where I
and he
heard
looked
it.
in the
But and
dugout.
it was the slowest of his career. He was staring in the dugout, and it was like the 15th slowest home run trot in the majors last year. Like you can't. First of all, it was just a stupid comment. Like
Mhm.
Manoah plays with fire, and if you're doing stupid shit like that, which I don't care if you want to take your time rounding the bases, don't say shit if I fucking motherfuck you after a strikeout.
I think my favorite part of the whole situation too is the whole big thing for Verdugo was he goes about it the wrong way. And if you watch his walk-off, shout out to him, he hit a walk-off home run. Cool. The entire trot around the bases is one of the most ridiculous walk-off trots I've ever seen. He's like doing ballerina spins and just like staring at everything that he can and pumping his chest and doing all that. It's like, well, what is that? I'm like, if you don't
Yeah.
like when Alek Manoah does it, then you can't turn around and do the same thing to their team and show like, well, I'm being the professional here and Alek Manoah is not.
If you make a take
ridiculous.
like that, you have to have the fucking balls to stand by it. You can't go on a podcast or whatever. I think it was a podcast he was on, and call out someone specifically, not provoked,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
say,
out of nowhere.
yeah, and say something like that, and then be like, and then try and backpedal out of it.
Mhm.
Like, it makes you look stupid and kind of pathetic in my mind. But
Do we have the quote from him this week on the run sheet? I didn't look.
I
No.
don't think because you put that in. This was something you did, Brant.
I didn't do this.
Okay, well, Nate did it.
Actually, I wasn't sure. I wasn't
we
sure
have
if we
3
had it.
people in this. Siri.
You need to be offline.
Siri.
I can probably try and look it up. In fairness to Alex Verdugo against Manoah, he definitely backs it up.
Yeah, he's really good against Purdue.
He's 8 for
Um,
19 with a home run. In 20
Is there
plays.
Is there
Pretty good.
anything? Is there anything positive to come out of the Blue Jays world?
Yes, Nate Pearson.
Bo's 5-hit game. Bo's
Bo's
5-hit
five-hit
game.
game.
Oh, Bo is still being Bo. I've never hit a harder stank face than Vladdy's home run off Nick Pivetta. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Vladdy hit one today too. So
Yeah, which
Vladdy's power is coming back. Maybe that's a minor positive.
yeah.
Bo's still hitting, which
shout
is
out
good.
Matt Chapman, one player of the month.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, that's not really in the series, but yeah.
It was
Matt
just-
Chapman had a good month.
Why is he back down hitting? He was hitting 5 again tonight, correct? I think I
Yeah.
saw lineup.
I think they're
Like-
trying to split up the lefties because there's a billion of them at the bottom.
I get it, but like
You also have
you need to have your best 4 hitters. Like when you have 4 hitters that are that good at
Mhm.
the top lineup, you need to have them at the top lineup. Verdugo is not hitting at that level yet. I think he's capable of it. I'm not willing to write off Verdugo
Varsho.
like some other people. Yeah, sorry. I think I did this last podcast. Varsho. Yeah, we talked about Verdugo too much.
Dalton Verdugo.
Yep.
Dalton Verdugo.
I'll just
Dalton
shut
Verdugo
up
had
now.
2 homers in this one. So in fairness, we can't knock on Varsho too much.
He did, and they did show like what he changed.
And he looked okay. I would say good in this series. I don't blame
he
Dalton
looked
Varsho.
more-
Yeah.
he looked
The
more like
problem-
guy.
Is after 5, the lineup was kind of a black hole all weekend long. or all week long.
Week.
I guess week long. It was kind of
Totally
a black
confused.
hole. I mean, I love Danny, I love Cav, but when you look at that lineup today, after Matt Chapman, you had Brandon Belt, who has not been good since that little run he went on. And then you went to Jano, who isn't consistent at the best of times and is struggling right now. And then I think you had Kevin and
Kevin and Kiermaier.
Kevin, and
Here-
Kevin's good for what he's good, but he's not a guy that you're going to rely on. So now you have 4 guys that are struggling to produce at a consistent rate. Regardless of what that top 4 does, it worries you when you get past that.
Mhm. I gotta figure it out, John Schneider. John, play you just, but don't backpedal on your thing with the second baseman. What the fuck is the matchups? Why was the matchup good for Kevin Biggio against Brian Bayo, but not Kevin Biggio against Nick Pivetta?
I don't know.
Like,
Couldn't tell you. He has more information than we do, and
I
that's
do,
kind of
but
what I
I-
always step back to when there's weird ass decisions made.
this man
He
has a 12
has
30
something in front of him that we do not have, and that is saying that's what he needs to do.
All I need is a 1257 OPS against Nick Pivetta.
I think a lot of it probably stuff like that is out of his hands too.
Mm-hmm.
lot of
It's
that's coming from the top.
95% of it. He's not making these lineups. He's getting this handed to him from above and saying, "Here's your guys that you're using, and when you're using them."
I mean, that's all.
And he's going out there and doing his job.
It's a bit of a bullpen thing too.
Same
Like,
thing. Same thing. These are the matchups we like in this game. Use them
Yeah.
when you use them. I don't know.
I'll-
A lot of people are on John Schneider's ass, and I'm not here for that yet, man. They're still what, 18 and 14? You're still 4 games above 500. If John Schneider's the reason that you're only 4 games above 500, like, are we really that pressed?
It took your worst week of the season to be only 4 games
Yeah.
above 500.
We got swept in a 4-game series, and we're still only 4 games above. We're still 4 games above 500.
We're still in a playoff spot.
I don't know what more you want out of John Schneider. I'm not going to sit here and say he's been great with his decisions. I don't love them. I've knocked them a lot here, but I don't think you're going to look at a team that's currently 4 games over 500 after a 5-game losing streak and say that we need to fire the manager or we need to look at doing something with the manager, because like they're still a really good team that has had a great month in April and still has the talent to do it for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's not John Schneider's fault that we just lost 4. It's baseball. It happens. 4 starters had 4 bad games in a row. It's going to happen.
We're in any other division. This 4 games kind of just looks like,
Yeah,
it
it just puts us
happens.
closer to second place.
Yeah, as opposed to 4th place.
Yeah, 1 game out of last in the division.
One
But
game
we're
out of-
also only
we-
3 games
aren't-
back a second.
1 game out of one
Aren't
game.
we still in a playoff spot?
We're
Yes.
the 6th seed.
Yes, we are.
If the playoffs, it's funny you should mention this. Starting in the morning, they put out an MLB put out if the playoffs started today. Before we lost to the Red Sox, the playoff seeds would have been the Twins versus the Red Sox and us versus the Orioles. Yeah, and then if we won that,
And then the Rays
series
get a
against
bye.
And the Rays get a bye. If we won that series against the Orioles, we would play the Rays.
Mhm.
So, but now we
Yep.
would be in the far easier bracket.
Yeah.
Going
Either
Twins
way,
Rangers.
there's
like-
4 AL East teams currently in a playoffs.
Yes, like
It is what it is.
also
I'm not
not
worried.
even a weekend in May.
It's May.
there's 130. I literally put this on Twitter like an hour ago. It's like Jay's. If you couldn't tell by Jay's Twitter, you wouldn't think there's 130 games left.
It's May.
Like
I don't want to see the standings until August or
All Star.
September.
I don't give me standings till All Star break.
No.
Like
Standings don't matter
Um,
right now. This it's
There
not important.
There are scenarios like you can play yourself out of a playoff
Sure,
spot, but
sure.
you can't. But we're playing over 500. That's not
With this
Jays clearly
team
have
that
not
we
done
have.
that.
No, with
Like-
this team that we have and in the division we're in, I do not want to see the standings until the All-Star breaks a fine part. Doesn't matter. Just go play your games, win some games, see where we're sitting at when it matters.
Also, the amount of positive regression that is due for the lineup,
Mhm.
like,
Mm.
well, I said positive, like George Springer. Like, I
Springer
hate that
should.
I hate that people are having this conversation that he's old and washed already. Like,
I got in an argument
It's
on
May.
Twitter with people saying he should be moved down to like the 7 hole. I'm like,
It's May.
have you watched any Jays games, like he's tearing the cover off the ball
Mhm.
and it's going right to guys. That's baseball. That happens.
Yeah, no, because you know what also like hurts like people's or helps the people's argument of George hitting seventh because they'd be like, oh, but he's done it with the Blue Jays before and it's worked fine. Which, like, if
He
you don't in
did it with the Blue Jays
2021,
before.
in 2021 when he first came back, not the first time, the second time when he came back, he batted like fifth for a couple of games, and then went into cleanup, and then after like 2 weeks, Charlie's like, all right, fine, go to leadoff, and the rest is history. Like,
I think I said this a couple weeks ago. In my ideal lineup, Springer's not my leadoff hitter,
Yeah.
but Springer is one of the best leadoff
leaders
hitters.
in
He's probably the best
baseball
leadoff
history.
hitter. He's probably the best leadoff hitter of this generation. I don't know if
Mhm.
there's an argument for that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Else,
I think
But
I think all time your only other argument is maybe Ricky, and I don't think there's
Like-
anyone else I would put in this Soriano. But
Soriano and Biggio are both up there for homers and both did different things. And
yeah,
I mean, Biggio's a Hall of Famer, so that's kind of makes its own case there. But
Sure. So there's 3 other names, and none of them played in the 2000s, or maybe Soriano did, but
different
like,
guys bring different
Yeah,
aspects to their game, obviously, right? Like he's got a lot more power than the average leadoff hitter, I think is
Yeah.
kind of what we're saying. But
Mhm.
man, it's May.
it's
He's
May.
he's had a tough month
It's May
and
4th.
a week. Like it's still tearing the cover off the ball. It's just going right to guys. It's
talking
gonna
But a
you're
30
gonna
game
have
sample size.
positive regret. You're gonna have positive regression. Like that's gonna
Progression.
happen.
Yeah, I just what
Sounds
is
cooler saying positive regression.
I know, but it's just not a thing. You both said it. We're what 32 games into the season, Connor?
Yeah, 32.
We are 19% of the way through the season. 19%. We have guys that are hitting 190 and people are bashing on them because that's not good. 19% of anything is not anything. There's so many games left, and the current 19% sample size doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It's May
I don't know
4th.
if one of you guys remember, but what were Bobichet's stats through like this
Oh,
point last
bad.
year,
I was about to say it. I was about to say,
or even to the All-Star break?
if
Bad.
we're
He
writing
wasn't- he
people
was-
off after
It
a
wasn't
month,
great.
we would have written
We were-
Bichette off 6 times last year.
We were
Like,
tearing him apart for his defense and everything. He's led the major leagues in hitting since 2021, and he
Yes.
went on a tear. Like it's baseball. This is baseball. This is what everyone's got to understand. Stuff happens. You can't make judgments based on a 20 game span or a 30 game span.
we're a 5.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe it's the Canadian side of things. Like we're so, what do you call it? Locked into the hockey aspect that we kind of just don't know how to be baseball fans.
blends.
But it
Yeah,
seems
it's a
like
weird time.
Jays
We're
fans
watching-
struggle a little bit with losing.
Yeah, we're watching. It's a weird time. We're watching Jays and Leafs at the same time in May.
Mhm. I
So
think
it's
just
like-
generally though, it's like it's the mindset of like you can't lose games. Baseball, you're going to lose a lot of games.
The best team in MLB history
Mhm.
lost like. If the Jays want to beat the best record in history, they're still going to lose another 32 times.
Mhm.
Like,
Bo Bichette at this point last season through April to May had
like
a
240.
239. That was pretty good. 239 average, 265 on base, 367 slug.
Oh,
Yeah, bad.
Which sounds pretty well in line with where Springer is it not?
I mean, I think George is like 205, 270
Okay, so it was a
on
bit
base.
lower.
Like,
But like
3 homers for
People,
Bo last
relax.
year, 5 doubles, 26 hits, and
Relax.
113.
yeah, as of right now, George is sitting 208, 264, 292.
So on almost exact on the OBP, but the slugging needs some work. But I mean, George is hitting everything hard, or most things hard.
Let's look at
I think we'll be fine.
like if I can check fan graphs for his expected stuff. Like it's ridiculous.
While you look for that, there's some minor league news, or a little bit. Brandon Barriera, holy Jesus, that's going to be a struggle for the rest of his career here. and I
No,
hope
it's
a long
not
one.
going to be that hard. It's the city the city.
Oh, I
near
know how to say
Wonderland
it.
And in the Hat Company.
I know how to say it.
Oh,
What?
the
But
amount of
Oh,
Barry,
I
but
just got
trying to
that.
put Brent
Wow.
Barry era,
Barry era. Oh.
Barry era.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I
That
know
makes
how it's
sense.
pronounced. It's a tongue twister when you try to
Literally
go
just say
Brandon
Barry
Barriera.
and area without the E.
I will get there,
Barry era.
What?
but my tongue goes into
Did
it.
you
not.
say
But
area
Brandon
without the E? Did you
Barriera,
mean
Barry-
without the A?
Barry area.
No, era.
Either-
You said area without the E.
That's era. Yeah, no,
Brandon Barriera.
whatever. Brandon Barriera is the name we're looking for. Sorry.
I love how this story. You said it correctly the first.
No, I went better. I did say it right. I know how to say it. It
the
just
amount
fell
of
I don't know if you
Barreras-
said it.
The amount of
No, I
Brandon
just didn't say
Barreras
anything.
we're
Yeah.
gonna hear, like
brutal.
I
Brandon.
swear, the first time I heard, I thought it was Berea.
There's a lot of letters in that name to be
Well,
Berea.
That's fine.
Brandon Barriera made his pro debut. No, sorry, single A debut. My bad.
No
No,
pro debut.
for single A. Right. Through 4 innings, no earned runs, no hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. How do you do? His fastball was averaging 93.5 miles an hour. He had 7 whiffs on 11 swings on his slider.
he's also a skinny. He's like a skinny 19-year-old.
He's young. That's a great sign. Obviously, it doesn't really mean a whole lot yet, but that looks good out of your number 2 prospect.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we have more minor league news. Your number 1 prospect, Ricky Tiedemann, left the game today with what seemed like some issue in his elbow on his throwing arm. I haven't looked anything up since. I don't know exactly what it is, but he threw a curveball and then almost immediately signaled for the trainers to come and get him because something was wrong. He was pointing to his elbow. Not a great sign. I don't know if there's news yet, but we will hope that it's not as bad as it looks. Because
He left with bicep discomfort.
okay,
It's better than elbow discomfort
Oh, definitely.
or forearm.
if forearm would hurt. I still don't love that it's bicep. That's not an easy one to fuck around with, but not great news from Ricky Tiedemann, seeing as
I like
all-
above the elbow a lot better than I like below the elbow.
Yeah.
fair, fine. Not great, seeing as that's a guy we were hoping could contribute at some point this season in a pipe
Yeah.
dream.
So
So that sucks.
I did look up George's expected stuff.
Yep.
So he's currently batting 208. His expected batting average is 257.
Okay.
And
Which
he's
is right about
This
in
is
line with
fine.
his career.
right in
is he
line.
not?
And then his slugging right now is 292. The expected is 427.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's a little different. That'll
like
that would look a lot.
his
prettier.
weighted on base average is 251. His
Mhm.
expected weighted on base average is 322. So like
Yeah, he's fine.
he's fine.
I'm not
Like-
worried. He'll come around. I'd love to say let's end this on a high note, but there isn't really a high note to end on in the whole week. Nate Pearson was great. Maybe we can just
Yeah.
talk about Nate for a second.
Nate Pearson was great, and Kevin
He was really good.
Face, and he wore a do rag that people found funny.
Yeah, Nate is I think Nate's gonna find himself in a very high leverage spot of this bullpen not very long from now.
I think
He's
it's gonna be
gonna,
quick.
he's gonna get like an 8th inning game in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
You already know
for
it.
sure.
You already know it. Like,
For sure.
also, do we know the matchups in Pittsburgh?
Bassett and someone.
It'd be Bassett, Barrios, Kikuchi.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you who's
I
pitching for them.
I think
Couldn't
they
tell
said
you even
Rich-
if I knew.
I think
Their
they said Rich
rotation is
Hill.
a
Rich Hills tomorrow.
Dick Mountain. Let's go.
I think Mitch Keller was throwing today, I believe. If-
Nice.
that means like Rowanzi Contreras and goddamn.
They lost today. Pour one out for the
Lovely.
bird.
He also got swept.
They did.
By Tampa.
They were this close to fucking. We're moving off the Jays, right?
I'd just like to say, like, not many of the prospects are looking great. I know we
Nope.
kind of touched on it last week.
Yep.
But another one is Arelvis, and he's hitting under 100.
You
And
could have traded him last season, but just said no.
I'm pretty sure he's basically either hitting a home run or striking out. And he's not hitting a ton of home runs.
I think that's
It's
just
like-
what he does.
I think he has like 4, maybe.
No, I think he's got like 2.
Oh Jesus. To answer the question, Yohan Oviedo is pitching Saturday, and Roansy Contreras is Sunday for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Roansy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is that it for the Blue Jays? Because I would like to transition into that Rays series because
Yeah.
there's a conversation there that we gotta have.
Coochie's ERA is only a 4.
Booch,
He was shit, and his
Yeah, he's a
ERA is only a
big
4.
dog.
What is
It was a
happening?
3 before the game. He went up a full
Guys.
run.
Jesus. All right. Yeah,
Um,
we can move on.
Wander Franco. I know I don't want to have the boomer take on this one, but I kind of do.
This isn't a boomer take.
I
This
know,
is
yeah,
just
make the game
an
fun and
idiocy.
everything. But that's just like why? Like I get
You should explain what happened first,
Right.
before you get into this.
right. Ground ball, routine ground ball to Wander Franco. Wander Franco picks it, scoops it like normal, has it, and like spins it in the air, grabs it, throws out Brian Reynolds. To me, watching
who
it,
we should add who just before you go,
Yeah,
like
go
Brian
for it.
Reynolds isn't slow either.
no, good runner.
Brian Reynolds can run.
He did get him
um,
by at least 4 or 5 steps, though. Like,
Yeah, I think
even if
I'm assuming Brian Reynolds kind of gave up when he saw how routine it was and then took off when he watched him go. Bruh. Now, to me, watching Wander Franco do that seemed like I've got this guy. I'm throwing him out. If you're a guy that throws the ball 83 from the shortstop position, I don't think you should be flexing like, yeah, nothing here. I got this. If you're Matt Chapman and you can throw 94, 95 across the diamond, yeah, you can flex about how strong you are and I can do this and still throw him out. There's a strong chance when you're Wander Franco with one of the softest shortstop arms for the last 2 years. Maybe don't. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't love it either way. Because, yeah, make the game fun, sure. When he drops that or fumbles it because he caught it weird and throws it away, are we still being like, oh, well, the game's fun? I don't think it's fun anymore. That's not fun. Errors aren't fun. That's where I'm at. I don't want to be the guy that's like knocking stuff like this, but this one's just kind of stupid to me.
Very stupid. If I remember the play correctly too, he is on the run while he's doing it, is he not?
He's
like,
stopped.
okay.
He
Either
kind
way,
of slid into it and then just stopped him.
either way,
Step
baseball is a game of inches, and one tiny mistake can make so much of a difference in any direction. Like it doesn't take much for you to throw the ball up and it hit your finger wrong, or you don't grip it
Mhm.
properly when you're throwing it across, and you throw a slider grip across the diamond and it cuts on the guy on the first baseman and he doesn't catch it. It's just it's not. I don't think it's a boomer take at all. I think it's just trying to do too much to look cool, and it's just stupid. Like
Mhm.
this doesn't. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
So unnecessary.
It just I love the fun side of baseball. I love the Manoah side. I love watching Ronald Acuna play is great. Watching Tatis dance on fans in the outfield, even though you're down 6. That's fun. Stuff like that. Cool.
Don't love that one as much.
It's still, I get it, and it's fun. And that's
Not when
not
you're down 6.
hurting anything.
No.
When you're throwing balls up, like I don't know what the inspiration behind that is. And I don't love it. It's just unnecessary, like unnecessary risk. I get it. Your team's in first, but it's just, I don't see the need for it. It's
Like,
kind of where
what
I'm
if, like I just said, what if you grip the ball wrong and you throw something that cuts over
Yep.
to first base?
Yep.
I couldn't tell you what the score was in that game. Wander throws the ball away.
Was it today's game or yesterday's game?
It was yesterday's, I believe. Anyways, but he throws the ball away because it's cutting, and then Reynolds gets on. Couldn't tell you how many outs where I didn't pay that much attention to the clip, but it doesn't take much to snowball an inning.
No,
Like
no.
that could lead your team to a loss in the long run. And for what? To be in a highlight reel because you flip the ball to yourself?
It
It's
was
just so unnecessary.
6-1 with 2 outs. Yeah, I don't know. Man. I don't love it. That's where I'm at. Connor,
Do
I
you have
feel
any-
like you have a
do you have
different
any-
opinion.
I feel like you have a different view here.
Did he get the out? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Like,
Yeah, but
other
what
other
if
than
he
that, I don't
does
really
it next
care.
time?
Then he
I
looks
don't
fucking
like enforcing that as like
then
something.
he looks stupid, and he probably won't do it again.
But he might.
Like,
So the fact that he did it is that like we're kind of just like
So if you are Kevin Cash and he comes off the diamond after that play, because he made the play, are you saying nothing to him?
okay, do you know the movie? We obviously all know the movie Major League, correct? I
Mhm.
hope.
Yeah.
nice catch, Hayes. Never do
Don't
it
ever
again.
fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Like,
That's kind of how it. I think that should be
That
almost
that
the
is-
line out of Kevin Cash's mouth.
yeah, like I'm not.
Obviously, they asked Kevin Cash about it after the game. He goes, "What did you think of Wander's throw?" And he said, "Well, I'm gonna go home and my son. I think he said his name is JD, something like that. He goes, my son JD is gonna ask me to practice that throw, and he's gonna say I can't help you with that because it's no one has the confidence that Wander Franco does." And that to me doesn't sound like I don't love seeing that. That sounds
But
more like, hey,
the thing I hate is the amount of takes from people like that have said that of being like, because people are gonna try and do that, and it's like, is that Wander
it's
Franco's
dumb to try
job?
and do.
Like, is
Sort
it
of.
Is
No,
Wander Franco's
no,
job to
it's
teach
not.
you how
That
to play
part, who
baseball right?
cares? It's
No.
your
Like,
job isn't to be a role model. It like I don't really care. I'm with Nate on the fact that it's just a dumb baseball play and is
Yeah.
just unnecessary for no reason. Because if you screw something up in that little play, then you're costing your team a base runner, which could lead to a hell of a lot more. I don't love it.
Yeah, do it again, Wander, but fuck it up against us.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also if you don't throw hard,
But-
don't act like you do.
That's the thing too, though. Like if you do that and then you throw that away, do you know how much the other team wants to just shove it right up your ass
Oh, yeah.
for doing that?
Oh yeah.
Like that is the scenario where you get fucked over,
Mhm.
and like the baseball gods come into
It's
play
just
there.
a high risk move for literally no reward.
There's no reward.
Nothing. You got nothing extra for that.
Like I'm sure they're gonna play it on highlight shows.
We're
But-
talking about it.
Yeah, but it's
That's about
not. I don't think it's great publicity.
Max Scherzer was bad.
Max Scherzer's been bad.
Scherzer's been shit.
First start back. Do you have the line here? I didn't know.
I didn't put it, but I have it here. Hold on.
It was not good. I think he gave up
mm.
like 8 runs.
3 into third, 8 hits, 6
8
earned
hits,
runs, 1
sorry.
walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs.
Is
Is Max
Max
Scherzer
Scherzer done?
now that he can't cheat?
I don't think he was cheating. I think it's gone back. I think it's gone back further than that. You go back to his. I was listening to. I forget who was talking about it today, but you go back to his Nats days. You look at that Nats run,
Mhm.
and I forget what game it was in the World Series. He woke up and couldn't lift his arm, and
Right.
got. I think it was a cortisone shot, and came in and pitched the next day, and he was fine. Then you look at the Dodgers run when he was there. I guess it was last year, and yeah, I believe he missed a start as well.
And he
I-
missed a lot of time last year with the Mets too.
He's
And-
not young.
Was terrible
No,
in
that's
his
the thing.
playoff start last year with the Mets.
He's not young. He's almost. I think he's 39
He's
in
bordering
this summer.
He's bordering 40. Like,
I think he's 39 this summer. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think that was it. From what I've heard, his spin rates were comparable, not
Yeah.
that much different.
I think they were down.
I think
they were down like
it's
150 RPM.
I think it's like it is Father Time hitting Max Scherzer, and if this is the way it's hitting him, this is kind of sad to
Right.
see because it's not like it was a slow fall from grace. For you could argue there's gonna be arguments for years on between Kershaw, Verlander, and him. Maybe Greinke on the outside of that. This is looking like a big fall from grace, which is not what we want to see for a guy of that caliber.
Father Time is Scott Stevens, and yeah, it's not great. It's not great for Max
No.
Scherzer.
No.
Like he's getting paid $43.333.
Yeah, it's
million.
pretty great for Max Scherzer.
Yeah, and
Not
you know
gonna
his
lie.
counterpart Justin Verlander didn't do great today.
Yeah, he's old too.
He's also making $45 million.
Father Time gets everybody eventually.
Did-
It might
hold
be
up.
getting the two of them.
The Mets got swept by the Tigers today. Like in a doubleheader.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't
Am I-
I don't understand the overhype on that Mets team. I don't think they're that great, especially with
Well, especially if their two guys aren't doing it.
I don't
not
love
great.
that lineup.
Not great.
I don't love that lineup.
So
Am I reading this right?
what?
Did Mason Miller get yanked in a no hitter?
Yeah, okay. You let me set it up. So it was a game against the A's and the Mariners where we had the Miller Bowl, as I'm calling it, because we had Mason Miller against Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller was making his MLB debut.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Are they related or they're just both Millers?
I think they're just both Millers.
They don't really look alike.
They don't look it.
That's less exciting than I thought, but okay.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But Mason Miller.
Hmm.
And why, damn it? Why would you do that to me? Mason Miller went 7 no-hit innings with 12 K. What was it? 12 Ks? 10 Ks?
Didn't see it.
Fuck! God damn it!
Oh, here we go. 6K for Mason.
That's it. Jesus,
Six.
Like
Yeah, 6K
tutors.
for Mason.
fucking up right now.
4 walks. So that's
Yeah,
7 no hit innings. He was
7
at
no-hit innings.
he's at
But
100 pitches.
he's at 100 pitches. To be fair, like
I understand.
so
He's
Brand
young.
can get off his fucking high horse about no hitters.
I still don't love it.
Like,
Give him another inning.
but
Give him another inning. Like I know 100's a lot.
it
but
was a nothing game too when he got pulled.
yeah. I'm not huge. I don't like the A's to begin with, and I despise pulling
Hey.
guys in no hitters.
Scratch that. It was a 1-0 A's lead.
Even better.
So,
Even
That
better.
makes me want to be many more.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Bryce Miller in his debut
Gave
went
up a
6
run.
innings, 2 hits, a run, and 10 Ks.
I remember who it was a couple years ago went like 150 plus in a no hitter.
Yep.
I want to say, am I thinking like I don't know, I might be way out of my field, but Edwin Jackson.
Edwin Jackson
Yes,
had
because
one.
he walked
Yeah.
like 8 people
Okay.
that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
walked the
Happened
tightrope.
again
He did
after that
8
too, but I'm pretty.
Eight
Did
walking together.
Bumgarner throw a no hitter?
I don't know.
I
seven-
think
I-
he
I
had
can
one.
tell you-
Matt Cain threw a ton of pitches.
He
in
threw a
his.
7-inning no
AJ Burnett walked 11 guys, I'm pretty sure, in his no hitter with the Marlins.
I remember Matt Cain being a recent one that he threw a ton of. His was a perfect game. He threw a ton of pitches in it. I
Matt Cain was
despise.
a perfect game.
You don't remember that one?
No.
I think it was Andres Blanco that made the catch in center, or Andres Torres. One of the Andres.
Blanco or Pagan or Torres,
Gone.
they all like blend together for me. As
Yeah,
terrible
they're
as
all
that
the
sounds.
same center fielder. Yeah, they made some gorgeous catch to finish it. But yeah, I hate taking people out no hitters. I've made that very clear.
Yeah.
I understand he's a rookie, so maybe 100 pitches.
My no hitters don't count.
They
Well,
don't.
I mean, it didn't really matter because they didn't get a.
They didn't even get one
they
because it's the
fucking
Oakland A's,
lost.
and you know nobody behind that is
I
going to
know.
be any good. I don't
bringing
like
in,
the
like,
A's to
You
begin
mean,
with.
you mean Yuri's? Is it Familia they've got? He wasn't good.
Oh, they DFA'd him. Don't worry, they DFA'd him today.
Did they?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
did-
So now
did
they
he
have
pitch-
what, 2 players on major league contracts?
Oh fuck! I
Or
forgot he
off
was
of
one
the
of them.
rookie deal.
Oh shit!
I forgot
Um,
about that. Yeah,
Like that are healthy or just in general? Because
Just
No, just not on like a rookie deal still. Like
that are on the
Are-
roster.
we've
Arb
done
eligible.
the Tony Kemp,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chase Peterson,
Yeah.
Ledbees Diaz,
Jesus
Jesus
is.
and
That's it.
the
That's it. It
Japanese
was-
guy,
Familiar. wasn't it?
Fujinami. That's 5.
and they
And
have
I'm pretty sure that was it.
they have Trevor May as well.
Yeah.
Both of them were injured, I believe, the last time we did that.
Right.
It's actually sick.
I fucking hate this team. Thank you for continuing to give me reasons not to like your team. That's trash.
Also,
pull guys in no hitters.
It's very random, but we were on the Tigers for 2 seconds. Do you guys know Javi Baez's stat line since being pulled in that game?
He's
against the
been
Jays?
gross.
He's batting 321 with a 371 OBP and a 446 slugging.
Yeah, because AJ Hinch told him to get his head out of his ass.
And
You know he's only made 2 errors
on the season?
unless he's made more recently. But the last time I checked, which was 3-4 days ago, he had 2 errors. It was the day that Kike made the 2 errors. So
Oh, I love it.
Kike has like 6 or 8.
What makes you want to look at Javi Baez errors?
I was looking
Or
at shortstop
anything
errors in
Tigers.
general. Just it errors from shortstops in general, and Bo has 3. Javi had less than that. Kike has like 8.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, Kike has 8. God damn. Let's see.
Is Javi back? Javi back
No.
is
Javi still has 2.
No.
2? Yeah. Javi back is?
Nope. I'm taking the under on Javi Baez any day.
Javi back is. Calling
Javi,
it.
bye-bye.
Calling it. Put that team in the mix. In the Central, dude,
Javi,
anyone can do it.
bye-bye.
Alejandro Kirk. Side note, you made me look this up. Alejandro Kirk is tied for 3rd in catcher errors.
3rd most or 3rd least?
3rd most
Dog. Yeah, it's because he's dropped 2
3.
pop-ups.
with 3, and then the throwaway. All right. What else we have?
He's-
Robbie Ray.
He's like,
Sorry.
has Jano not caught more games than him?
I feel like he has. Like,
Like, fuck me, that's brutal. Who's ahead of who's the other guys on that list at the top? I would really like to know.
Who's made more than 3 errors as a catcher? I'm also curious.
someone leads the league with like 5, but I think he also plays
Jesus.
other positions. So let me.
No, so that doesn't really count.
It was Blake Sable of the Giants has 5. Shea
Who?
Langoliers, he's one of the Giants, and then
Ooh.
Shea Langoliers has 4.
Yeah, but Shea
then-
Langoliers.
I mean, granted, Alejandro Kirk is in like a 8-way tie with Kyle Higashioka, Austin Barnes, Eric Haas, Elias Diaz, Connor Wong, Wilson Contreras, and Matt Thais and William Contreras. Like,
A lot of them aren't full-time catchers from the quick
true.
time you
And,
went through that.
Jano has 2. So
Alejandro Kirk has 15 games started as a catcher, 16 played. Do you have
I feel
Janos
like
in front of you
Danny's-
or no?
I feel like
Well, I can tell you quick maths. If we
I have
played
Jano.
32 games, Jano started 17.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Math,
Got me
math,
there.
math pod. Math
He's
pod.
apparently he started 16. Maybe that doesn't count today.
It's okay.
Probably doesn't.
We didn't have a catcher for the one game.
did Dalton Varsho catch? Like, did we just not know?
I don't think that includes
We-
today.
We brought up Tyler Heineman and we just didn't tell anyone.
Did we
18,
talk about
18
that?
games, 16 started.
Did we talk about how we
So,
traded for Tyler
yes.
Heineman again?
I think, yeah, last
feel like we didn't.
podcast. Yeah, we mentioned it. I think. If not,
While
whatever.
we're on that topic,
Mhm.
very quickly,
Mhm.
do you think the Jays are thinking they're going to use Kirk more in the DH role instead of
That's why
Belt,
you have Heineman.
and they bring up Heineman to be essentially your backup catcher behind Jano,
Like an actual
One-
backup catcher.
yeah, and one of Espinal or Biggio is on the way out,
Nathan
Or
Lukes.
Belt.
or Luke's. Luke's is
Nathan
another one.
Lukes is still on this roster.
Or
There's plenty of guys on the bench that
Brandon
aren't contributing.
Belt.
Yes, I agree. All of them aren't contributing.
I think Belt is
it
the
could be any
least.
of them.
Belt is the least likely, just because they're actually paying him a piece
It's
of
not
money.
that
He also
substantial.
he also has a pedigree though. He has
Mm.
more of a pedigree than anyone else, and I think if you're looking at them, he's
the
probably got the
Biggio
most
name
likely
though has
out of-
pedigree.
Stop it, Brant. Don't you fucking fall into this category of if his last name was Smith, he wouldn't be in the league.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying the Biggio name carries
Also,
pedigree.
can we talk
Anyways,
about how,
I don't know. That was an interesting point I saw brought up. I
Yeah.
just-
Side note,
it's
I'm just
possible.
gonna small rant here. Can we stop talking about Santiago Espinal like he's an all-star, please?
No,
Can I
he's
just-
not good.
he's not an all-star.
He's not
we
good.
voted him in over Andres Jimenez as a Canadian fan base. What are we doing? Like,
He's not good anymore. He hasn't been good since the All-Star game. He's known as a defensive specialist. He's got what, 3-4 errors already in what, 10 games?
Yeah, like no games.
I feel like Kevin Biggio's stat line next to Santiago Espinal's stat line is that, like, you guys have seen that picture of like Riz versus harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's literally them.
Yeah, they both
Like,
they
in the
both
eyes of Jays fans,
stink
it's
at the
fucking.
plate. They both
Espinal is
stink
Riz,
at the plate.
Biggio
Right
is
now.
harassment.
Yes, they both stink at the plate right now. But Espinal had a hot start to last year, and he's been carrying that ever since. But he's been worse defensively than Cav.
I think the tough thing is, again, I missed the game last night with Espinal playing third.
Made an error at third. He's not a third
yeah.
baseman.
Didn't hear it was great, but
He's not a third baseman.
we don't have a backup shortstop for when Bo needs a day off or
Sure.
DH day,
Sure.
and we don't have a backup third baseman
Period.
for when Chappie does either.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you're discounting Espinal at both positions,
Yeah.
I again haven't seen a ton of his defense this year.
There's a reason why Breivik Valera was starting games for us when we had Cav and Santiago Espinal. Because neither of them were good third basemen.
And Kevin Smith.
And Kevin Smith. Kevin
And-
Smith. Well, I
and
think
Joe
at
Panic.
that point they were both hurt.
And
Breivik Valera,
Lamb.
Jake Lamb started games at third base.
Bro, that 2021 team is a fever dream.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
No.
there's a case to be made that one of the two of them's probably going to be on the way out.
oh, I'm fully
Not
my,
necessarily
like,
soon, but they
Some
got to
point.
bring in someone who can play the left side of the infield, can play both positions, and at least is going to give you above average defense, if not a bad.
What above average decent defensive positions does Santiago Espinal have at this point? If he can't play third and he can't play short,
can't play second.
I can give him second, but he hasn't done a great job so far.
Would you rather take plays 3 positions, but 2 of them are and one of them is kind of good, or guy can play 3 positions average, 1 position really good, 1 position don't fucking put him near? Like,
think-
One's that.
I think
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference is Cav can't play the left side at all.
Sure, but neither of them can.
Whether
at
we're
this-
what Santi's better
back-
at both positions than Cav.
Sure, but they're
I'm-
both not good. They're not serviceable on the left side.
I agree.
You need
I
a guy that
agree.
can go. If we're gonna get rid of a guy that so we can have a left side infielder, I would rather keep Cavan because at least he can play first in the outfield. Santi can't. If you're looking for an upgrade on your backup left side,
You have a bench left-handed first baseman and outfielder currently. And
sure.
the only thing I'm going to say, I think Cav gets you more of a return than Santi at this point.
I don't think either of them return you much right now.
No.
I've also just like to point out, I've been fully preparing in my head and space to buy another Kevin Biggio jersey that's not a Blue Jays one.
Yeah.
For like a year.
I'm
Like,
shocked he's still here.
I'm going to be honest too. The second I saw that we got Brandon Belt, I'm like, oh, writing's on the wall.
I'm
Cavs gonna
shocked.
be like,
Shocked he's still here,
Cavs gonna be in like Cincinnati or Pittsburgh or
Yeah.
something. Like,
and he's gonna figure it
He
out.
gets
he's
a
gonna
lot
figure it the
worse
fuck
rap.
out, and I'm gonna feel so much more validated.
Yep.
Like,
I'm not a Kevin Biggio fan,
Mhm.
but he gets a lot worse rap from this fan base than he should.
I think
And Espinal doesn't get
he's
enough.
not a fun. He is not a fun brand of baseball to watch, though, and I think that's the tough part.
And
you
he's
know
like
what?
the
I
most
think
basic looking dude of all
all
time.
Cav needs to do, if they put Cav in just put Cav in a commercial. Like literally tell
Give him
Cav
the
to do-
romance in line.
give him like the romance, give him bigger than Lake Ontario, and I guarantee you people will change. Like we fucking love Jonathan Davis for that.
The
shit.
difference here is
Like-
Cav's a nepo baby and Santiago
Yeah.
Espinal isn't. And that's
Yeah.
why he gets the rap that he does. They both
Yeah.
stink right now.
Yeah,
Equally.
and it's also the fact that like the other 2 people you were brought up with
are
fucking
great.
are fucking one's arguably
One is
best
the
hitter in
MVP
baseball.
and one is Vlad. I said what I said.
Hey, I'm still taking that Steve Gear trade any day of the week.
Oh yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That was arguably
one
one of
year,
those, like,
one year of good Santiago Espinal, or
Mhm.
like maybe
for
a year and a
World
half.
Series MVP.
Taking it.
Yeah.
Like
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, but Steve Pierce was not helping us at
No,
all.
dude, he wasn't gonna do anything for us.
yeah. My thing, the last thing on Cab before we
The
get-
fact that he won MVP is fucking bonkers.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So
The last
stupid.
thing before we hop into a former Blue Jay is I feel like the second Cav leaves and here's a different opinion on how he should hit the fucking ball,
You'll figure it out.
he'll figure it out. Like you don't just
I think they have to like, I don't know. You have to be in his ear and trying to like get him to change things.
and to his credit,
I just don't like.
everything-
I just you go.
like and to his credit for everything that we heard like in spring training and through the season, he was in Victor Martinez's ear for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe he's can't hit.
Gary, bro, you know
I
what?
just-
I'm gonna
I-
knock on wood. If he's ever a Yankee, it's gonna fucking kill me. Like he goes to the Yankees and just becomes a good player.
Yeah, I'm gonna tend
My-
him off a little here. Unless
No,
you
no,
sorry,
I got
finish
one.
it up. Finish it up.
I just think my biggest gripe with Biggio, and the one reason I think I've soured on him a lot, is I just hate seeing him take those
Strikes.
pitches that are so close. Yeah.
If he gets
They-
more aggressive, I think he'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
I
the
think he could
strikeouts that
be-
bother you.
He could be an above average starter. I think if he swung at more pitches.
Yeah, I also think
No, I
it's just,
agree.
like it's
It's
also
just the
just
it's
like,
the all the
he's-
cold lookings that drive me nuts.
He's now got the stereotype of, oh, if there was robo-umps, he'd be like the best eye in baseball.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
true.
he just-
I
And
I
that's
think they hang
stupid.
on to him for that reason.
That's
Um,
stupid.
like
We mentioned Steve Pierce, and it got me thinking.
I don't know.
How many MVPs can you guys name since 2000 will go?
World Series or
World
just
World
Series
Series.
Is it a fun list?
Corey Seager?
Okay, let's go back.
We'll go backwards. I'll give you
Okay,
I'll give you
fine.
the team that won it too to make it a little more fair.
Okay.
Last year, 2022, Houston Astros,
Jeremy Pena,
Jeremy
Yep.
Pena. 21, Atlanta Braves,
Jorge Soler,
Jorge Soler.
All right.
2020, Los
Corey
Angeles
Seager.
Dodgers, Corey Seager.
That's Corey Seager.
19
Yeah.
Nationals,
Was that Howie Kendrick?
Steven
won the-
Strasburg.
Steven Strasburg.
Fuck. All right.
Kendrick won the NLCS, I think.
Okay.
2018, we already said Boston Red Sox,
Yeah.
Steve Pierce. 2017, Houston
George Springer.
Astros, George Springer. 2016, Chicago Cubs.
Kyle Schwarber.
Was it Ben Zobrist?
Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zella.
Ben Zobrist. 2015, Kansas City Royals.
Eric Hosmer.
Lorenzo King.
Nope.
Wade Davis.
Nope.
Okay.
Johnny Cueto.
Nope.
Alex Gordon.
Guys, you're making this harder than it needs to be on this one.
Salvador Perez.
Salvador
Salvador?
Perez.
He was playing on like one leg in that playoffs.
Yeah,
too.
that was insane.
I'll be honest. I don't think I watched a single game of that World Series
Oh.
because it was Mets Royals. I was like,
It was Mets
this is
Royals.
like one of
David
the most.
David Murphy on second when it went off and almost won the MVP despite not winning the World Series.
Yeah.
It was
I
insane.
I love it because you didn't even get his name right.
Is it not David Murphy?
Daniel.
Nope.
Daniel Murphy.
David.
Yeah.
David's
Daniel
he was
Murphy.
the
Which
outfielder
one's
for the
David?
Rangers.
Yeah.
Daniel Murphy. Scrub. He
Okay,
became a
we-
gnat too.
All right. What year are we at? lucky.
Where were we? 2014 San Francisco
That-
Giants.
Is that Madison Bumgarner?
Mad
It's,
Bum.
yeah.
Okay, that was the Mad Bum.
2013 Boston Red Sox.
David Ortiz.
David
Poppy.
Ortiz.
Yeah, that
Good one.
makes sense.
2012
That was the
San
home run
Francisco
into
Giants.
the bullpen.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
That was the Matt Cain year, was it?
it was not.
I
Matt
don't know
Cain
if
does
he-
not have an MVP.
That was Buster.
Is this
Buster.
Not Buster either.
wait? Why in my head is this Marco Scutero?
It is not Marcos.
Okay. Oh no, it was him. It was either this year or 2010.
Well,
I
was
don't know how
Pablo.
it wasn't. It was Pablo. It should have been
Oh.
Marco Scutero. You were right,
Okay, like,
but it wasn't.
in my head,
Pablo
okay,
Sandoval has
I
a
think
World Series MVP.
He has
They
World
won.
Series.
Wait, they won the World Series in 2010, right?
This is why I hate
No,
the Giants.
yeah, 2010.
Okay, I know the 2010.
That's why I hate the
Like,
Giants. I
pretty
hate
sure.
Well, you
I
might.
hate everyone that has ever played for the Giants.
Okay,
2011 St. Louis Cardinals.
David Freeze.
David Freese.
2010 was
Uh,
Edgar Renteria.
Was Edgar Renteria. 2009 New York Yankees.
Hideki Matsui.
Hideki. Wow, look at you go.
How do you know these ones, but not the early, the recent ones?
This is it's a great question.
2008 Philadelphia Phillies.
This was
Ryan Howard. No, Chase Utley. Chase Utley.
No,
Jimmy Rollins.
no.
You're just
It's
gonna
a
fucking
pitcher.
name.
It's a pitcher.
Cliff.
Cliff Lee.
No.
Cole
Cole
Hamels.
Hamels.
Cole Hamels.
I beat you to
I'm
everyone.
gonna say Brad Lynch.
Just waiting for the rest of the rotation first. 2007 Boston Red Sox.
Oh shit.
David
Well,
Ortiz.
No.
This was
This-
again
I don't
Ram.
know if you guys will get this one.
It's Nelson
Omar
Pedroia.
Garcia Pera.
No.
Garcia Parra.
Can I was gonna
Mike
look up the
Lowell?
roster, but that's probably cheating.
No, that's cheating.
Um,
It was Mike Lowell. Hold on. Yeah, Mike Lowell.
Oh,
oh yeah, you get
Let's
Lowell with
go.
All right, I got 2 of the obscure ones. I got fucking Edgar Renteria. I win in this bullshit.
buddy, I've got like 8 so far.
You guys got a lot. 2006 St. Louis Cardinals.
Albert?
Albert Pujols.
No.
Yadi.
Blue Jays
Lee-
legend.
Chris
Matt
Carpenter.
Stairs?
No.
Eric Kinsky?
No.
Fuck.
What?
Sorry. This is throwing you way off the scent. Don't even think of him as a Blue Jay.
Troy Gloss?
No.
Oh fuck.
You just like I don't even have guesses
Yeah,
anymore.
I might have just put you in a blender with that one.
Is he a position player or a pitcher?
He is a position player.
Okay, that doesn't really help it. Shit. Scott Rowland?
No.
Mark DeRosa.
No. You're almost on the right track with that one, though.
Mark DeRosa?
No.
He's on the
Yeah,
right
you're
track?
on the right track with Mark DeRosa. Similar amount of time in Toronto.
Omar Vizquel.
Oh,
I don't even
God.
think he played in St. Louis.
Was he an infielder or an outfielder?
He was an
This-
infielder.
Fuck, this doesn't help at all.
When?
He was-
Before
I can
or
probably
after?
give you. He was a
David Eckstein?
shortstop too. David Eckstein.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays legend. Played
I wouldn't have got that. I thought it was an angel.
76 games for Toronto in 2008.
Good for him.
He stunk, dude. David
Oh.
Eckstein was the most frustrating player. 2005 Chicago White Sox. I'm asking the man
Paul
wearing the
Snyder.
White Sox
Konerko?
Was
jersey.
not Scott Podsednik.
Wasn't Konerko.
Was it Joe
It was not
Creedy?
Konerko. It was not.
Fuck.
Ozzie Guillen.
Wasn't
No.
El Duque.
The manager.
Hey, he played for them at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
but
at one
not
point.
not in
Shit.
2005.
Wasn't Scott Podsednik. Was
Alfonso Soriano.
was
No.
not Jermaine Dye.
It was Jermaine Dye.
Fuck, it was Jermaine Dye. All right.
What?
It was Jermaine Dye.
I'm just trying to remember Buddy's name for when the year comes. I got it.
2004 Boston Red Sox.
Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
He won an 0. Why did I not?
Yeah, that was the one that like broke their big curse.
That was the Kurt Schilling bloody sock.
Oh, okay.
That was actually in the ALCS against the
Oh,
Yankees. though.
3.
2003 Florida Marlins.
Josh Beckett.
What's Josh Beckett? Wow. That's
I was
how are
gonna
you
say,
getting the
like,
most
well-
ridiculously obscure ones possible?
My baseball knowledge is fucking.
Can I?
Broken. Okay, 2002 Anaheim Angels.
Should have been Barry Bonds.
Tim Salmon.
Not Tim Salmon.
Troy Percival.
Not Troy Percival.
Is he position
TJ
player?
Wilson.
He was a position player. Not
Okay.
CJ Wilson.
Motherfuckers.
2002 CJ
is it
Wilson.
Sean Figgins?
Not Sean Figgins.
You're like just as off base with that one. Vernon Wells.
Not Vernon Wells. Vernon
Was
Wells is
not-
still a Blue Jay at that point.
Allie Kendrick was not an angel at this point.
Was Vernon Wells even a Blue Jay at that point?
I don't know if he was actually.
This is pre Vlad Senior.
I don't know, but it's now Flat Senior, so
Was
Not
this also
Voss.
David Eckstein?
it was not David
Okay.
Eckstein. David Eckstein only had
Not-
like 3 years in St. Louis, and this is also not St. Louis. It's Anaheim.
Yeah, he played for Anaheim.
He
He
played
played
for
most
Anaheim.
of his career with
Sorry.
played in
Anaheim.
that World Series.
No, well, depending on what you want to call most of his career, there's 4 years in Anaheim. He had 4 years in
That was probably
Anaheim,
most of
3
his
in
career.
St. Louis.
That was probably the majority. That was probably the that's majority. Most.
Four of 10, so not technically the
Like,
majority.
fucking
Oh,
god
fuck
damn it.
you.
Give
Give us a hint on position.
2002 Anaheim Angels. He was an infielder.
I said
Blue Jays.
position.
Blue Jays legend.
Troy
Marco
Gloss.
Scudero.
Troy Gloss.
Fuck.
I said not Troy Gloss, and you didn't say
You never
it.
said not Troy Gloss. I would have told you
Pretty
that.
sure I did.
2001 Arizona
Luis
Diamondbacks.
Gonzalez.
This is
Luis
going to
Gonzalez.
break both of you.
Kurt
not-
Schilling,
One of them was Kurt Schilling.
and the other one was Randy Johnson.
The other one was Randy
Yeah,
Johnson.
huh?
They were two. They were
I was 5 months
co-MVPs.
old when that World Series happened.
The last one, the year 2000
is-
New York Yankees.
Was
This
this
is the
sub-
flip, is it not?
This is a tough run for
This is the
this
flip,
one.
is
It
it
might
not?
have been. Might have been. I couldn't tell
I mean,
you.
the
DJ?
obvious answer is just Jeter.
It was Jeter.
Okay.
They
Of course
won
that-
3 in a
the
row,
flip.
3 different MVPs. Jeter, Rivera. Yeah.
Edit.
No,
Could you name the 19?
Why'd you say yep then nope?
because I I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Name the 1993 World Series MVP.
93. Yes, I could, but I'm also looking at it, so that doesn't.
Oh. Nate, could you name it?
Pat Borders
Nope,
was
Pat Borders
92. That's why I was finishing my sentence, for fuck's sakes.
Jesus, this episode.
Ed Sprague?
Scott Brosius? Anyone ever?
Brocious.
Brocious? Is that it?
Yep.
He was the
a
98
93
MVP. No, 93 was not.
What the-
Anyone you said.
93 was
Why-
Molitor, right?
93 was Paul Molitor.
I thought you threw me off. We're talking about 93 and then we're talking about Scott
I
Brosius.
did kind of.
Fucking Aaron Boone? Like, you never know. Like,
Squirrel.
Jesus.
I
I feel like I got well over 50% there.
You did get more over 50%, but I got more. I got the obscurity on my side.
Good job.
I named
Greg.
Edgar
you had, like,
Renteria,
3 of
Josh
them.
Beckett, and fucking like.
You know what?
David
I will
Eckstein.
give the win to whoever can tell me who won the first World Series that included an MVP.
the Yankees.
Can you tell me what year this was?
1955. We're going back and forth one at a time here because it's not fair if we just keep rambling guesses.
All right, I said the Yankees.
The Athletics.
No, Connor.
Orioles.
Dodgers.
No. Oh, technically.
Why would
Well,
you-
I meant
'Cause-
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn Dodgers.
Well, I wasn't going to say the full team. Connor
Yeah.
wasn't saying the full team.
That's true.
I mean,
That's fair.
Fine.
That's fair.
Boston Braves.
Also,
like,
Connor, I don't think were the Orioles a team in
I
1955?
don't believe
they
so.
might have been.
And I also meant I'm pretty sure that was still the Philadelphia Athletics. So I don't think they were in Oakland yet.
Let's go the old Wikipedia.
Well done, gents. Well done.
They've
I'll
been a
give you-
thing. They've been established in 1894.
The first World Series MVP of all time, Johnny Padres.
Excuse me.
I shit you not, Johnny
Good for him.
Padres.
Like
Podr. Johnny Padres.
So that's a big dub for this guy, I think. And that was a dub in the MVPs.
Oh, hell of a run, gentlemen. Well done. What the hell were we talking about? Nothing.
You mentioned Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray is
Fucking
getting
Robbie.
Tommy John.
Yep.
That's all we really need to say about that. We've already said he's done for the year. We can. Who put Bryce Harper in here? Who wants to talk about Bryce?
Because he came back with the full Gronk elbow brace. Like, it looked psychotic.
Yeah, he's got one on.
I
What did he
would
do?
too
I
if
haven't
I was
seen
Bryce Harper.
any of his games.
He went
first game.
0 for 4 and then he went 3 for 3 with a walk.
Yeah.
Big dog.
The 0 for 4 was like 3 Ks though against
2
Julio
singles and a
Urias.
double, I think.
So,
Yeah, well, lefty on lefty, you haven't
Okay,
seen
I'm
live
just
pitching
saying.
in a year.
You can't hit lefties at the best of the time. Holy, that is a bionic arm.
yeah, it's the
Where
Gronk
is
elbow.
this the first one or the second?
The first one.
First one. There's a
It's
bionic
full-on
arm.
Gronk elbow brace.
That's his
Like,
lead arm. Too.
Oh my goodness.
also he only
is he
wears
also
that.
wearing a sliding mitt to
He
hit?
is. I was kind of
No, that's I know. Okay, so the thing is, he puts the Gronk thing on when he's base running, because
That
if
makes
he-
sense.
Really?
Because if he happens to slide,
That
So
makes
he
sense.
doesn't
That makes
hit with
100%
that.
sense.
no.
Okay.
Which
You wouldn't
funny.
be able to.
It's funny this happened. A manager, according to Alden Gonzalez, who was at the games for the Phillies and Dodgers, Phillies manager Rob Thompson got worried in the ninth because Bryce Harper didn't have time to put on his elbow guard while on
Oh,
base.
right.
Nick Castellanos even burned a timeout to try to help.
Not a boy,
Harper-
Nick.
Harper said they brought it up to the league, but an exception won't be made.
Did they try filling out a form?
So it's a pace of
stupid.
play
Just
issue.
fill out a form.
Did they try filling out a form?
Get the
Is
guy
that-
a form.
Just ask for a standing ovation every time.
Yeah.
Every time Bryce, like, just expect that your guy's going to get a standing ovation every time he's on first. So that way, it kind of just circumvents the whole thing.
I can't wait for Bryce Harper to get a pitch clock violation in his first at bat back in Philly. Like,
I don't think
so
he gets a
ready.
standing ovation, does he?
I mean, you never
Maybe.
know.
Maybe he does, and that they didn't submit the form.
Um,
Liam Hendricks, who wants it? I didn't put it in
Connor.
there.
Take it
Oh,
away.
fuck
I
it,
didn't,
fine.
I didn't
I
put
did.
it in there.
So Liam Hendricks, before yesterday's White Sox game, basically had an interview with all the media and just went over everything that he's gone through. Apparently, had stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh,
Was diagnosed with it back in December. He didn't come out with it until January, and he's in remission. Like fully, like as we know, so that was great.
he's pitching.
He's pitching.
Is he active?
He not active with
He's
the White Sox
in
but he's
his
on
rehab assignment.
He's on my
Yes.
rehab side.
rehabs.
That's unreal.
He did pitch in I think like the Florida Coast League like a week ago, and he struck out two people in 2 innings. Like,
I have him in fantasy, and the last thing I have, Liam Hendricks likely to make 4 to 5 rehab appearances.
okay.
Before that, he started his rehab assignment on Wednesday.
Also, here's another psychotic thing that unironically may have potentially happened. So last June during the season, Hendricks, like, he found lumps on his neck, and guesses he might have had lymphoma during last season.
Just
and
kept
pitched,
going.
just kept going. So and
Well,
but
I'm
he did go.
assuming he didn't get stage 4 out of nowhere.
No,
Yeah,
obviously, yeah, he did go. He did go on the IL for a little bit, but he came back on July 4th, and after July 4th, still going through all that, 32 innings, 23 hits, 10 earned runs, 8 walks, 48 Ks, 21.6 whiff percentage, 2.81 ERA.
Yeah, he's a dog. I can't
That's
wait till
wild.
he's a Blue
He
Jay.
is a dog.
Like,
So I got a fun stat that relates to Bryce Harper and Liam Hendricks for you guys. Do you
Okay.
so since Bryce Harper, Brett knows this one. I don't know if you do, Connor.
oh,
since
Connor, I was
Bryce Harper
joined in as
got- yeah, Bryce Harper got Tommy John, recovered, and played this year. And Liam Hendricks got diagnosed with, what do you say, stage 4 lymphoma?
non-Hodgkin's.
Hodgkin's lymphoma, and beat cancer since the last time. And Oakland A's starter recorded a win.
I hope you know that us talking shit is just going to be the first Oakland A's pitcher.
We're so
win.
losing to an A.
We're so losing 2 out of 3 to the A's.
How do we play the A's?
June.
You think they can go that far?
We play them in June, dude.
Oh, we're so being the
They
first
don't
team
have
to
a
give up
win yet this year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What
it's
is-
because they pulled Mason Miller. It wouldn't
What
matter.
is
They
his
didn't
team?
score runs. That's
And-
great.
That's
And,
so
ju-
good.
and just lastly, the St. Louis Cardinals have the worst record in the National League.
They suck.
They're
I-
terrible.
I have a point on
Nolan
this.
Arenado sucks.
Do you remember somebody getting hit with a pitch, maybe on the hand in the WBC?
Was it
And-
Arenado?
Oh shit,
Yeah.
it was. That's right. You did get hit.
Is that why Goldie's bad too?
No. Goldie's still good. Goldie's
Goldie's
still Goldie.
having a good year, I'm pretty sure.
Goldie's like
Anyways,
he's
I have
not.
I have a point/question that I was thinking about today.
Uh-huh.
The Cardinals are not good right now.
No, that's pretty.
if this is your
I
Twitter,
think-
if this
Good-
is your
good take,
Twitter
Nate.
no. If this is your Twitter question that you put us in the group chat like 2 and a week ago, no. Like,
I don't remember what my question was, but
if it's say yours first, and then I'll say what you said.
Goldie's had a
you-
good couple weeks apparently.
so I think there's 2 glaring omissions from the lineup this year.
the Cardinals?
Yeah, only one. One of them played strictly last year. The other one, I'm pretty sure came up in like 2003,
Oh,
and they've been a wagon
Oh,
ever since. They are not a wagon this year. Their pitching rotation has been dog shit, and Yadi and Molina is not catching.
Yep.
Do you guys think there's any correlation?
there is, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm not putting 100%. The pitching rotation last year wasn't that great either. Like
but
it was
better than this.
it was like average to below average even then.
Miles
Yeah.
Michaelis went from like
No,
a
they didn't.
top
didn't have
20
any-
pitcher to a
They didn't
not
have
even
any
relevant.
dudes last year. They didn't have They haven't had dudes since Flaherty was like elite.
Their last dude was
But Flaherty,
Wainwright.
Wayno.
Like, it was Wayno. Flaherty was a dude for like a year or two.
Wayno had
yeah.
a couple of years. Or sorry,
Yeah.
Flaherty had a couple of years.
Wayno had a career.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I think that's something to be worth noting. And I don't know. It's
Do
I think
the
it was
Cardinals
like
bring
0-3
back Albert Pujols?
No, but
No, I think they maybe have a managerial change.
no, but Yadier
and-
Molina is the next head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay,
he just
are we
did-
playing
he
hockey
just
or are we
did-
playing
Manager. That's what I
baseball?
meant. That's what I manager.
Okay.
Same shit.
Okay.
He just did the job for
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto
Why?
Rico, I
Okay.
believe.
Puerto
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. I could see it. I don't know how interested he is in taking the job.
But also, you got
I
to
don't
think,
think. I think he would.
It's Bob
Like-
Guerin's job, though.
what has gone right for them this year? Like, think about it. Jordan Walker, top
Did not
prospect.
go well.
When did the
Tyler
Tyler
O'Neill.
O'Neill thing happen?
That was
When
groovy.
they were good.
That was like the second or third series, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
It seems
just
like
after
it's
us.
been a friggin' downhill slide.
Oh,
since
Tyler
then.
O'Neill
I don't know.
is Tyler O'Neill's a Dodger in a month. Like, he's getting traded. Like, it's not even a close discussion anymore.
Could Tyler
They
O'Neill be
got,
our
they got a
fourth outfielder?
surplus. Is this what you're meaning? 'Cause I
Yes,
brought that
because
up.
your goofy ass said Tyler O'Neill for Yusei Kikuchi and Kevin Biggio.
I just meant at the starting point. They don't seem to want him.
No, they don't.
They don't want him.
I don't know if
Like,
they'd say no to that
Who's their
deal.
manager? Marmol?
Ollie Mormal.
Oh, you might-
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like him. They need
No.
pitching, and Kikuchi was pitching very well at the time. And
Carlos.
also he
Carlos
was
Mormal was the Cubs
he's
reliever.
he's
Oh.
the most manageable contract of our available starting pitchers. Was more what I was thinking, and I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, because they have so much outfit. That like Jordan
They sent down
Walker's
Jordan Walker.
Jordan
with a
Walker's obviously going to be
50 OPS or something.
yeah,
like
but he had like a negative WAR. That's how bad he was on defense.
He's terrible
like-
defensively. And
But like also,
yeah, you know
You
what
just made
happens
him-
when you throw a guy in the outfield who's never played the outfield before? He doesn't look good.
they can't. Yeah, they've ruined. I'm not gonna say ruined two players, like two top prospects, because they made him because Nolan Arenado took their fucking position. But like
Gorman, the other one?
Gorman and Walker, you made them move just to move, like because of Arenado. Like, ugh.
Jordan Walker
mean-
was hitting 274 and was a negative 0.4.
That's tough.
Yeah, his defense.
He
I
was
mean, you're
also
not mo- you're
only
not
slugging
moving, no.
397.
You're not moving Nolan to a different position.
No, you could fucking move his old ass to DH. Like,
No,
He
no.
hasn't lost
His
the Gold
defensive
Glove.
numbers are still
He
phenomenal.
hasn't
He just
lost the
can't
Gold
hit.
Glove since he's been in the league.
fucking should this year because Brian Hayes is the thing. But
I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but Nolan Arenado still has like a 99th percentile. Oh, it's above average.
yeah, but everything else in this baseball stuff page is
Everything else is blue, super blue.
blue dabba dee dabba die.
I forgot about that until today. I heard somebody mention it that but I remembered as soon as they said that he got hit in the hand, and then I remember the American announcers being like, "Oh, he's fine," blah blah blah.
Holy shit! I just looked at his.
Pardon me. It's 97
Holy
percentile.
shit! This is just the
Uh,
anti Matt Chapman Savant
I-
page.
Don't think the rest of his numbers, other than the defensive stuff, add up to 100. Oh, you know what? No, K percentage and whip percentage are 51 and 53. So it's
So
bad.
he's not striking. He's striking out about average, but not
Right.
barreling anything.
No,
Like
he's 14th in average exit velocity, 45th in max exit
Max.
velocity, 19 in hard hit percentage, 9th percentile in expected WOBA, 16th percentile in expected slug, 16th percentile in barrel percentage. He's
his
so
expected-
I wouldn't-
fast.
his expected slug this year is 330.
So fast. 9th percentile in sprint speed.
Cardinals fans seem ready to jump off a bridge, worse than Jays fans, which understandable. They've been
As
off
they
to a
should.
good
That's
start,
fucking
but
brutal.
But do you guys
the
wanna
Cardinals
know
are still. I just want to say it
Go
before
ahead. Go
the
ahead.
Cardinals are still have the pieces, and the NL Central sucks.
Do you guys know the last time the Cardinals had two back-to-back losing seasons
Which one?
with a full
The shortened seasons? Yeah,
I'm just saying-
58-59.
It's 58-59.
Well,
Like,
we're not
It was
reaching that
94.
yet anyways.
It was 94-95.
but those were
With
the shortened
Both
years.
being shortened seasons.
Yeah. So Cardinals fans, you had a bad month. Shut up. Obviously, you can't be patient, but like Tyler O'Neill's gone.
I don't know, man.
Figure
They-
out something.
They
They're too
haven't had
good
a
to be
good
this bad.
rotation. They haven't had a good rotation since
Ever.
like at this. I'm just saying, even since the start of last year, and their only addition has been Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah.
Who was good. I don't know what
Yeah.
he was like a dog last year. I don't know what he's doing this year, but you got to do more than that, in my opinion.
So
Yeah, and
to leave in anger here. Do we have anything else we want to talk about, or I think we're good? right?
why are we leaving in anger? Don't do this.
Because not
Jordan
you
Montgomery-
won't be upset about it.
Jordan Montgomery is 2-4 with a 3.34.
Cool.
So,
So
I think you take that from Jordan Montgomery any day of the week.
why
So-
would I be angry?
on the website where I was looking up the World Series MVPs, they also had a section for no hitters. Can you tell me the last no hitter?
I mean, a year no hitter or just the baseball world's definition of a no hitter?
You know already.
It was the Cubs, wasn't it?
No.
Fuck.
It was
Mariners.
no.
There was one that happened like
There was one that happened in the playoffs.
the
Oh, it was
Astros.
The Astros.
So when you look at the list of no hitters, it starts with Rafael Montero, and in brackets it says 1. And then it says Ryan Presley, brackets 1. Brian Abreu, brackets 1. Christian Javier, brackets 6. That is how we are listing no hitters in
Yeah, because
2023.
They didn't get it. They didn't get
That's
a hit.
not a real hit no hitter. They do not count. There's only 2 real no hitters on this list. Who is the last real no hitter?
For being technical, Madison Bumgarner.
False.
No, because that was 7. That doesn't count.
7 for being technical.
Who is it? Was it Tyreek Skubal?
No, wait.
Scuba was before
Was
this
this-
one.
Did it happen in 2022?
It did happen in 2022.
Okay, because I was
This guy's a fucking mystery to me, man.
wait.
Dylan Bundy.
Did it Spencer Turnbull?
Nope.
No, it was a different
AL
team.
West.
Dylan Cease was almost. He went 8 2/3. AL West.
AL West.
Oh my god. I know who it is because in that same game, Anthony Rendon hit a left-handed fucking home run. It was Reed Detmers.
Was Reed Detmers. Also had a 13 strikeout game last season. He's the last person to throw a real no hitter.
Yep. That's the
Before
only
that,
reason I
it
remember
was Tyler Gilbert.
Tyler Gilbert of the Diamondbacks. Yeah, he did it against the Padres.
Crazy. And then there's a long list of actual no hitters, and then there's a couple of combined ones in here, but like, yeah.
The
here it is.
fact that guys went over 9 innings with a no hitter because the game went to extras, and they don't count that, but they count these fucking baby ass
There's
pussy
one.
footing
Yeah.
fucking combined no hitters.
I wonder how far back.
Oh,
Francisco
wanna-
Cordova got a 9-inning no hitter. I don't know why that's special. Oh, because they went 10. Ricardo Rincon got the 1 inning of
This
the.
might be very obvious.
Ricardo
because-
Rincon, star of
Yeah.
Moneyball.
I was gonna say, like, that sounded like a major league name. Like,
Ricardo
like a-
Rincon. You don't remember that whole scene? They were trying to get Rincon.
Oh,
for the
yeah,
We're
whole
yeah.
trying to get
goddamn movie.
Rincon.
yeah, no, but let's
We
just
need
like,
a setup, man. We need Rincon.
It's gonna be a no on Rincon.
that movie.
Chad Bradford, best
That-
reliever
that's
they
such-
had.
That's a great movie, but like, holy shit, if you know,
It
the
would have been a
actual-
lot better if they told the real story.
Yeah, because
Brant, your face.
Scott.
So
Hatteberg-
there's one here, June 23rd, 1917. There's 2 names on the list: Babe Ruth, Ernie Shore. Babe Ruth pitched precisely 0 innings, and
You
is
get
a part
like a
of a
third?
no hitter. I
get
know
like a
because
third of
there's
an
some
inning?
that do 0.1 or 0.2. Babe Ruth has a 0.
He
Did he
could have
get-
walked 4 guys to start the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you just get
I
injured
wanted-
in the
I-
beginning of the game and like Ernie
I
just
don't
said,
know.
hop
I'm
in the backpack?
so intrigued as to how the hell that happened.
Why is this a rabbit hole you're in right now?
I
Yeah,
don't
dude.
know.
Dude, no.
I was
he's
looking for like
dragged
a
us-
10 inning.
He's
no-hitter.
dragged
Sorry,
us
guys.
down the no hitter rabbit hole and the fucking World Series MVP rabbit hole.
We need
That one was
another.
worth it.
We need another good guess me thing to end the pod on.
Okay.
Brant, this is your opportunity to find it.
I'm working on it. I don't
Yeah.
recognize any of these abbreviations, or I'd ask
Get a
you the
lovely
name of the
trucker
team
hat.
that throw the first.
No, don't do that.
Hey.
No.
Well, if you could tell me what
Do
team
you
this
just
is,
wanna-
I'd be proud of you. The abbreviation is STBS.
It's not Salt Lake.
That is
St. Louis Brown Stockings.
It's the same. It's the St. Louis Browns, isn't it, or something like that?
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could do like the AL Cy Youngs for like 2000.
You want me to just give you a
Oh.
random? Hold
I
on.
feel like we
Let me
could
see
get
here.
this.
I feel like I'm not gonna do as well as that on that as
On the Cy Young,
MVPs.
I feel like I could do decently, but like,
Can I give you a more fun one? Can we go manager of the year?
oh my god! All right,
Let's do manager of the year.
this
That's way
is
more
we're
fun.
gonna be dragging the depths.
I don't even know who won it last year.
Was it
Terry Francona.
Are we going
I
AL or
win.
NL?
We're gonna do AL because at least we have a chance.
Hit me with a fucking rope a dope. Hit me with a fucking rope a dope on AL Manager of the Year.
Let's go.
NL was Buck Showalter, so
Yeah.
We're doing-
We got. I gotta give you a way more fun year though.
Don't just fucking.
All right.
It's Billy Bean for one of the years.
Billy Bean's a GM.
Yeah, you just won it. Give me 2010 AL Manager of the Year.
Can we get like a?
One time for all the marbles. It's in the AL.
I'm just fucking. I would hope.
AL Central
James Leland.
was not Jimmy Leland.
Is it Ron Gardenhire?
Connor with the dub. Ron Gardenhire of the Minnesota Twins took the Minnesota Twins to a 94-68 record in 2010 to win what I believe to be his first
Already.
AL Manager of the Year. How do you do? Thanks for listening. We will catch you guys next week. Connor's probably still going to be
Shout out Ron
celebrating.
Gardenhire.
Shout out. I don't know. if
The only thing I can
shout out.
celebrate tonight is fuck Toronto.
Nah, Jim
Yeah,
Leland.
tough day.
Smoking heaters in the dugout, baby.
Smoking heaters, baby.
We will catch you guys next week. Everything is linked in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next
Peace.
time. Cheers.